Hello, welcome to Real Talk or Reality Check with Kelly and my YouTube channel, Be the Hero and Rescue Yourself. I am so excited to have you on as one of my guests. I consider all of you guests as my subscribers and really excited to share with you some of the lessons that my own heroes in my life have given me and hopefully help you learn how to rescue yourself and create the courage to put on your own damn cape and be the hero of your life. So, today's lesson and kind of a reality check for a lot of you out there that are moving into leadership roles or are currently in leadership roles, or you may even be listening to this thinking you know everything about leadership because you've been one for 15, 20, 30 years. Well, you may learn something, and I hope you can learn something today. So, I want to bring you way back in 2007 when I first walked in to be the Texas director of the high school programs for DeVry University. I've been working with DeVry since 2003, and I was so excited and nervous all at the same time to have been promoted to this role in this position. I didn't even think that I had a chance. I interviewed for it, I prayed for it, and I got it. Not to mention, I was a new mom as well to a 6 month year old baby, a 6 month old baby. So I was nervous. I was a new mom. I was a new director. I had already been leading a small team in Dallas, but now I took over an entire state. And I was nervous. I wanted to do a good job. I wanted to support my team. I wanted to see them be successful. And I remember learning that a female leader who I had respected a lot and who had moved her way up the ladder pretty quickly in a male dominated organization felt that I was the wrong choice for the role. She didn't think I was tough enough to lead a team of individuals from all walks of life. And some of them were much older than me at the moment. And didn't think that I was strong enough and tough enough to be able to lead this team. So I decided, well, dang it, if that's what she thinks, then I'm going to change. I'm going to be a tough leader and I'm going to change my leadership style. And that wasn't what led my Dallas team to success in the first place. And I don't know what my thought process is, but I allowed her words and her thought or her idea of me change who I was. And thank goodness I had an amazing vice president who helped me get back on the right track. But I'll tell you the whole entire story. I had led my Dallas team for a year up to that point and ended up receiving the highest honor an assistant director could get with DeVry University. I won the Pride Award. And now that I was promoted to director of Texas, that meant I took over Houston, Austin, San Antonio, East Texas, West Texas, and also the Valley. And all of these folks would be my responsibility to help them learn, develop, and grow and become successful. I had worked so hard to build a respectful and caring relationships with everyone, not just my team, but at the Dallas DeVry campus. I was very well respected and liked because I lived by the rules I was taught by my mama. You get more with honey than you do with vinegar, or take care of your people and they'll take care of you. These were the words of both of my parents, and that was the foundation that set the framework for the kind of leader that I was there at the Dallas campus, and to my fellow employees and everybody to today. So I kind of tell you this because I wanted to give you the story of how words can really change how someone could think of themselves and how they can act towards other people. So I was having to learn about my new team through different ways, my new team in Houston through different ways, and through the process of working with the campus human resources department in Houston. and I needed to find out some information. And I had called and I had emailed and left some messages, but no one was getting back with me from the Houston campus. And I was getting pretty frustrated because there were things that I wanted to start on. I want to start on now because I needed to be tough, and and I wanted to, I needed to push forward. And so I reverted back to what that woman said, that I was not tough enough, and maybe these people weren't scared of me enough to be able to return my phone calls. So I decided I would leave one tough message on her answering machine. And honestly, I truly don't remember the words that I said. I just know that I was tough, I was stern, I was demanding, and and man, I wish I could have taken it all back. My attempt at a heavy-handed leadership backfired on me. My leader at the time, his name is Aaron McCardell, which here coming up in the next month or so will be coming here to my home to have some coffee and real talk about leadership. He called me the following day, and I could tell that he was about to have a serious conversation. You all know that you've been in that situation where your boss is calling and saying, okay, we need to talk. And you're like, oh, what did I do? And he first asked me what happened and why I felt the need to be so mean on that message. And then I let him listen. Then he let me listen to the message. And when I listened, I was so upset because this person that I heard on the recording was not who I was raised to be. It was if I had completely forgot everything that my parents had taught me. And because of one person's opinion about me and my ability to lead my team to a successful year, I had a choice: either wallow in my mistake or learn. So what did I learn from that moment, and what did I take on for the rest of my career with DeVry and in other leadership roles? What were those lessons? The first one was relationships, building relationships with your people. Aaron had spent time building a solid relationship with me, understanding me, knowing my personality, understanding my hopes, my dreams, my goals, what I wanted to do with the organization. And because he had spent that time, and because he had told me how he felt that I was the best person for this role, that when that tough conversation came around, I knew that even though it was going to be hard to hear, I knew that he had my best interest at heart, because he had developed that relationship with me beforehand. And it wasn't just a relationship filled with, well, you've done this wrong, you've done this wrong, you've done this wrong, you never do this right. It was a relationship that was mutually respectful, and I was ready to take that feedback from him. He spent time getting to know me, right? He listened, he learned. And even though that conversation was uncomfortable, he knew me so well that when he listened to that message, he thought to himself, something must have happened, because this is not Kelly. This is not her. And he knew me well enough to find out why I felt the need to be so rude and ugly. And he also reminded me why he promoted me to director of Texas. He felt that my compassionate and caring style of leadership was a great foundation to build from, and something that the Houston team needed at that time. Through the years that I worked for Aaron, he also taught me to be firm but fair to my team and build those relationships through spending face-to-face time. I will tell you, while I was with DeVry, I was gone every single week. Either Monday through Thursday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and home on Mondays and Fridays to do reports and be at the Dallas campus with my own team here. And I spent time with them. I would go with them to their schools while they were lecturing. I would actually do lectures for them so they could watch me and give me feedback. I would carry their equipment, and dude, we had some equipment, man. I mean, if some of y'all out there are some of my old DeVry peeps, Y'all remember the PDAs and the big old boxes that we had? I mean, it was like 35 PDAs that we carried with us, with projectors, with our computer, with the handouts and everything. I mean, man, we had some muscles. All of us had some muscles. I would help them break their stuff down. I would take them out to coffee. I would take them out to lunch and just sit and chat and hang out with them for a couple of days. The Texas team went on to be one of the highest performing teams in the U.S., and we all felt like we were a family, and we truly were, because they also built such a great relationship with me that if they had an idea, if they had a new way of doing things, if I said something that was messed up or confusing, they knew that they could call me and say, "What on God's green earth did you just say? I understood none of that, Kelly. You got to re explain yourself." And we laugh and we move on. We were so open and honest with each other, and often my team was pretty dang candid, because they wanted to improve. They wanted to be the best team out there, and they wanted to make things better, and they wanted to help each other make things better. I mean, it started getting to where they were calling each other, asking for best practices and asking each other for help, and trying to make things better. And they started solving their own problems, and they would call me and say, "Kelly, I messed up, but I fixed it. Here's what I did." And I would tell them, "Great job. Have you thought about this? Or did you think about this?" And they're like, "Oh, great advice." And then we would start, having those types of really good, rich conversations. And it gave me the ability as a leader to really start looking at trends, really start looking at things ahead, how to plan ahead, because they were running themselves. They truly ran themselves, but it took a lot of time and effort up front to train and to give them the tools they needed to be able to do their job. And then also, my job as their director was to get all of the crap out of the way so they could go do their job, right? So I wanted them to succeed. So then later on, I started becoming known as Big Mama, which for me, that meant that they knew that I cared and wanted them to succeed, but I was firm and held them accountable for their performance and how they treated others within their campuses and team. When I left DeVry, they gave me a picture that still hangs in my office today. And it has a picture of me in the middle of it and my team's picture all around it. And I'll take a picture of it so you can see it. With a quote from John Maxwell: "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." It all points back at what I was taught by my parents at an early age and a handful of amazing leaders that shaped me as the leader I am today. Take care of your people, and they will take care of you. This is not a new idea, and we all say this in some way, but do we really live it every day? It's more than a paycheck, it's more than a title. It's more than a benefits package to your employees. It's more than just showing up and giving them a pat on the back and walking out of the room. It's your time to build those healthy relationships, spending that quality time with them, helping them understand how they impact the community and their company around them, learning about their dreams, learning about their fears, learning about their passions, and guiding them with some of the stories and lessons you have learned along the way. These moments will truly shape their future within their own life as they grow and move into leadership roles on their own. It's fun to hear still some of my folks from DeVry that worked for me come back to me and tell me how everything that they've learned has made them successful in the careers that they have moved into today. Some of them are so very successful in pharmaceutical rep positions. They're even in leadership positions themselves. I just had someone, Mr. Jerry Roach, who called me to be a reference for a new career change for him. And he always tells me that I was the best leader that he had ever had. And that makes me feel good. That makes me feel amazing. So here's the deal: breathe life into your company through the employees. breathe life into their future through getting to know them, understanding them, how are they motivated, how do they learn, what kind of experience do they want from a leader or a boss, how do they know that they've been successful. It's so very important to understand this so you can make sure that your organization grows and you're able to have those folks share their talents with other people and the people that they lead and their community. And we just try to make the world a better place, one person at a time. And that starts a lot with leadership at work. So I hope this lesson is a good one for you, because it really truly was a great lesson for me early on in my leadership days. And I wanted just to give you that tidbit of a story that truly changed how I saw leadership at a very early age. So I hope that you guys have an amazing rest of the day, and be sweet, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast, Be the Hero and Rescue Yourself with Kelly Fullman. If you enjoyed listening to my podcast or watching this YouTube video, please follow or subscribe to my channel and walk with me through my journey of celebrating my very own heroes and an opportunity to learn the valuable lessons they taught me over the years, which allowed me to gain the courage to wear my very own cape and be the hero of my life. You can also follow me on Instagram at K Fullman, that's KFUHLMAN, at Facebook, /K Fullman1, or on LinkedIn, Kelly Fullman MBA. Also, please leave your comments below, because I see feedback as a gift, and it will guide me on how to help you gain the courage you need to rescue yourself. Be sweet, y'all. Thanks.